According to Eddie Hearn, Hughie Fury has once again turned down the opportunity to face Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn was responding to some fans who had questioned him on Twitter and asked him, since Joshua's looking for an opponent in the wintertime, I'm paraphrasing here, but this is basically what they said, since Joshua's looking for an opponent, why not offer the fight to Hughie Fury? Eddie Hearn responded by saying, I've offered him the fight. I believe he said twice this year and once in the past 2 weeks. And seemingly Hughie Fury or Team Fury have turned the fight down for the second time. Now we have to bear in mind that Hughie Fury has also turned down fights with Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte. He turned down 2 opportunities, I believe, to fight Deontay Wilder. And on both occasions, the reason that Team Fury gave for turning it down was that they weren't given enough notice. Peter Fury subsequently said if they're given, I believe he said 8 weeks or whatever it was, enough time to prepare, they'll happily take on Deontay Wilder. Hughie Fury, that is. Earlier this year, Hughie Fury turned down the fight with Dillian Whyte. Again, it never seems to be Hughie Fury taking to social media or speaking publicly about why he turns these fights down, but it tends to be his dad that actually says these things publicly, Peter Fury. And Peter Fury's reason for turning down the Dillian Whyte fight was, we don't fight friends. That was his reason for that. Dillian Whyte seemed perfectly happy to go ahead with the fight, but Peter Fury said we don't fight friends, and that was that. So now we have Hughie Fury turning down the Joshua fight, according to Eddie Hearn, again. And no official reason has been given yet, as far as I'm aware. But a lot of the Fury fans are saying it's because Hughie Fury is sick. He's ill. He's got some type of blood disorder, which he's been struggling with since the beginning of his career. And they're giving that as the reason why he's turned down the Joshua fight. Now, Hughie Fury has been fighting. Yeah, he fought Fred Cassie fairly recently. So it's not as if he's too sick to fight, because he's been fighting. I mean, there may have been a period in his career where he weren't fighting, but lately he's been fighting. So to me, it seems as though he's not too sick to fight. It's just that he's maybe too sick to fight Anthony Joshua, if you know what I'm saying. And we need to keep a close eye on what happens in Hughie Fury's career over the next few months, because if he ends up fighting in September, October, whatever, then we can turn around and say, you know what? Maybe it's just a case that he didn't feel confident enough to take on Anthony Joshua, because that's plenty of notice, isn't it? Plenty of notice to fight Joshua. I believe they were talking about October, November time. That's plenty of notice. So perhaps they just don't have the confidence. Hughie Fury, in terms of his personality, is almost the polar opposite of his cousin Tyson Fury. He's an introverted person. He's not an extrovert like Tyson is. He's actually had more fights than Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua. People are talking about Hughie Fury's age because he's a couple years younger than Whyte and Joshua, but age is not really a factor here, people. And I've said this time and time again. It's about experience and it's about natural confidence. When Anthony Joshua was Hughie Fury's age, and he was still amateur, he was fighting the top amateurs in the world. Right? Anthony Joshua, with only 2 years amateur experience, went to the World Championships in Kazakhstan, the World Amateur Championships. And he was fighting the best amateurs in the world, and he made it to the final of that competition in Kazakhstan. Was it Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan? I think it was Uzbekistan, sorry. But either way, he made it to the finals. And he was fighting in front of the president there against the top fighter in Uzbekistan. with only 2 years amateur experience. That takes a tremendous amount of confidence. That's when he was Hughie Fury's age. Also, when he was Hughie Fury's age, he went into spar Tyson Fury, and in Tyson Fury's own words, he said Anthony Joshua beat him up in sparring. Okay, this is when Joshua was Hughie Fury's age. Now, Joshua didn't have his first amateur fight until he was about 20 years old. So he was a late comer to the sport of boxing, Anthony Joshua. But right from the get-go, he had the confidence to go in there against whoever and hold his own against people with far more experience. Hughie Fury don't seem to have that type of natural confidence, because Hughie Fury's been boxing a lot longer than Anthony Joshua, a lot longer than Dillian Whyte, since he was a teenager, maybe even younger than that. He turned professional at 18 years old, Hughie Fury. He's had more fights, as I say, than Joshua and Dillian Whyte, but somehow they've managed to surpass him in terms of what they've achieved in their careers, even though he's had more fights and he's got more experience. So to me, I think there's a confidence issue. It could be also to do with this problem, this health problem he's got, this blood disorder or whatever it is. But I just can't help thinking it's down to him lacking natural confidence. And that may come with age. But as I say, at the same age that Hughie Fury is now, Joshua and Dillian Whyte were far more confident. I can tell you that for sure. So yeah, he just seems like an introverted person who's going to need time to really start believing in himself. Maybe that's what it is with Hughie Fury. So drop your comments in the comment section below, people. Are you disappointed that Hughie Fury has turned down a fight with Anthony Joshua, at least according to Eddie Hearn, for the second time? A lot of people would have liked to see the fight. A lot of people rate Hughie Fury highly. So I struggle to see how it wouldn't be disappointing for those people. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below, people. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.